Hello, I wanted to do a quick review on how I made my Louis Vuitton PM agenda into a functional wallet. This is really a good size agenda. It's 5.5 by 4 inches. On the inside it has 3 credit card slots that I put the most commonly used ones there for quick reference, and that works for me really well. From Filofax I ordered this it's a zip envelope, and it seals very well. You could actually put change in there, paper clips, or anything you just didn't want to get away from you. I do need to note that it did have a zipper on it, but it bothered me. I didn't want it to warp my agenda, so I just took that off. I do have room, I did make room for my Louis Vuitton calendar, except it's really small, and if I were to try and write in there, in my opinion, it would just look really messy, and that bothered me, so I don't use it for that purpose. I just use it literally as a reference calendar. The last thing that I bought were these credit card holders, and they're made by Filofax as well. These are anything for this agenda will be the pocket size, but as you can see, it has 2 card slots in the back and 2 in the front. And I actually got away with just being able to buy 3. As you can see, I have my checkbook in the back. I had to cut the very back flap of the checkbook off so I could slide it into this little back pocket. And then I just kind of tuck money away in there, behind there, and it stays pretty securely in there. And once it's closed, you know, there's no issue of anything falling out. I've been using this for about a month, and I haven't had that issue. Other than the checkbook sticking out and the money sticking out just a little bit, that might be the only thing that somebody might potentially see as unfavorable, but it doesn't bother me, and it works really well, and I'm really happy I did this. Partially because I've had the big wallets, and I just tend to cram things in there. I'm not a very organized person. I have to work at organization, and that just contributed to it. And so in effort to try and clutter free my wallet, I am using this agenda, and again, I have to say I really enjoy it. I don't want to overfill it so much, so that helps me keep down the things that I put in here. And so it can be done. If anybody was considering doing it, I've done it and I'll enjoy it. So I do recommend that. The other thing I wanted to share with you is, for as far as Louis Vuitton agendas of any size, if you don't want to buy the inserts from Louis Vuitton, Filofax is your only option. Now Filofax is great, and I have many of their products, but the design on it is just quite boring. It's not very decorative. So I went ahead and decorated mine, and I just wanted to show you how I did that. I found this wonderful mermaid picture online, and so I just printed it out, and this is actually the front cover of my agenda. I like things like that, and so that's partial the theme. Let me just get back here. Okay. Now this is the actual calendar portion. Here's November. Here's the first page with the half of the month, and then the other side is over here. Have a place for notes and birthdays, and that seems to be very helpful to have that slot there for notes that I might not want to put on the day, just things I might have to remember in general for that month. There might not necessarily be a date for it, but just something that I have to take care of in that month. That works really well. The other thing I did was I made my daily diary or my weekly diary on, I kind of lumped it all together, and there we go. So each oblong little section is a week. So the first part of August has 3 weeks on one page, and then the last 2 on the last page. And again, there are my B's. And then a little place for notes and for next month. And lastly, what I did is I made a monthly expense bills log, and this works really well for me. It helps me just keep track of the things that I need to, bills I need to pay, or things that come up. And I have a slot, and I have a section there for next month and notes. And with Louis Vuitton items, if you don't use Filofax, it can be tricky to punch the holes in this if you don't have a Filofax hole punch. They do make a metal one that's $70, I believe, and then the plastic version of it is about $20. And I just hand punched these. I used one of the Louis Vuitton notebook papers that I had, just so I'd know where to punch the holes, and it really didn't take me that long. And I got the paper cut down at Kinko's. They can cut down paper for you to the size that you need, or you could do it yourself. I just went to Kinko's because I just gave them all, however, I mean, it was about 50 or 60 sheets, and they just cut them all down to the same size. So I was really pleased with that. And it doesn't cost too much. I think I paid maybe like $4 or $5 just to get the paper cut down. So this was just my way of making my agenda just a little bit more personalized. I like to do things like that. So I hope that you found this review helpful. And if you have any questions, please message. Thanks so much. Have a great day.